So for this quick tip, we're going to dive into one of my favourite features of Ableton. And if you're struggling for track ideas, this might just be able to help you. So I'm back again with another one of my quick tips. Every single day this month, I'm doing a brand new music production tip. 31 days, 31 tips. Are you getting bored of this intro yet? Anyway, this one we're talking about one of my favorite features within Ableton. I use it all of the time. It's the audio to MIDI feature. Basically, you can take any sample you want to and convert it into MIDI. Now, there are varying effects as to whether this works and whether it doesn't. But even if it doesn't work very well, it can create some really interesting ideas. So let's jump into Ableton and I'll show you exactly how it works. So I've got a brand new Ableton project here, just 2 layers within it. We've got an audio track, an empty audio track within here, and then I've got a MIDI device in here with just a simple patch that I found within the Ableton library. And next we're going to head into my sample collection. Now, if you're like me, you've got a whole load of sample packs on your hard drive. Now, sample packs are obviously built up of a whole load of different things. You have drums in there, you have bass in there, you have music in there, you have effects in there, you have a whole load of different stuff. And if you're like me, you probably just jump into the drum loops and the effects. You probably use them quite a bit, but you probably stay away from the music loops and the bass loops, for example. Maybe it feels like you're kind of using somebody else's idea and it just doesn't feel like your own kind of product then. But it's a real shame then, because you have a whole load of these loops that you're not actually using. So let's jump into this sample pack here and see what we've got within here. So that's kind of a kind of basic kind of acidy bass line kind of loop. Now, I probably wouldn't use that within one of my tracks, but that doesn't mean that this couldn't be a really kind of good idea to start with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop it onto the audio channel. Now, obviously, this is now within my music track, within my project, and I probably could use it like as it is, but to be honest, it wouldn't fit with the kind of stuff that I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to take that audio clip and I'm going to drag it onto my MIDI clip here. Now you can see that the cursor turns into this different icon. It's got the cursor but with a little musical note icon. Now as soon as I let go of it, it says it wants to convert it from audio to MIDI. Obviously I've just dropped audio onto a MIDI channel. Now it's giving me 3 different options here. We have harmony, melody and drums. Now depending on the audio content you've got, you might want to do harmony, melody or drums. So if you have a drum beat, then you could actually use the drum preset. If you have chords, then I would stick with the harmony preset. Otherwise go with the melody. So if you know you've got a bass line that has a single note going throughout it, then go for the melody option. But if you hear chords, then go for the harmony option. With this one, I think it's mainly just single notes. So I'm actually going to stick with the melody for now. But you can experiment with the other ones and see what you come out with. So I'll click melody. And it's going through and it's analysing that audio clip for all the different notes. Now I'm actually just going to mute this audio because we don't really need this at the moment. And this is what it's produced so far. So it's already playing it too low down. So I'm going to double click into this clip. I'm going to select all of those different notes within there. I'm going to hold down Shift on my keyboard and click up on my keyboard. That moves it up an octave. And I'll maybe move it up another octave as well. So it's starting to sound like something maybe we could use. Maybe if I put some drums behind it, perhaps. Let's see how it sounds. So as you can see, that kind of original loop that we got within here is now something completely different. And whilst it doesn't sound perfect, it still gives us an idea. It still gives us somewhere to go with. Now, obviously I could jump in here and I can start editing these MIDI notes, perhaps making them a little bit different, maybe adjusting their timing or their notes. But it gives me this kind of starter, this idea that I can start working with. And this can work really, really well. Now, one quick tip I will say is that sometimes it doesn't quite get the notes that it should do. Now, say for example, with this loop that we've got here, we can see that it's labeled up as A minor, but there might be notes that it's detected within here and it hasn't quite got it right. So what you could do is you could actually add the Midi effect to actually keep it within the right scale. So if I go into the Midi effects folder within here, go to the scale plugin, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the C minor preset within here. I'm going to put it before my instrument, and then I'm going to change it to A. So this is now A minor in scale, and that means it will keep all the notes that are being played within here within the A minor scale. So even if the audio to Midi didn't work quite right, it didn't quite get all the right notes within the right scale, it should now play everything within the right scale. I don't think it's played anything particularly different. I think it's actually done it quite a good job there, but we know that it's at least within the A minor scale now, so at least we know everything is right within it. And that's just one simple example of using that feature. I use it all the time. I'll dive into my samples, new ones, old ones, find these kind of melody samples that I like and convert it into Midi and then put it in a completely different instrument. It's a great starting point for a track. And also you don't have to feel like you're constrained by what instrument or genre it is. You could take a hip hop flute and turn it into a house acid bass line or something. There's an amazing amount of stuff that you can do with it. So yeah, definitely give it a try. It's a great way of starting a track. And if this video has been useful to you, then definitely subscribe to my channel. As I say, every single day this month, a brand new music production tip. So definitely get subscribed, hit that notification icon so you're notified the moment I upload that new video, and hopefully I'll see you again in the next video.